don't know about you, but feeling great
Mhm.
on a Motivation Monday.
Mhm.
Super stoked.
But we'll be airing on Tuesday.
Yeah, which will be airing on
Yeah.
Tuesday. Don't mind recording on Monday. Might even
Yeah.
record Tuesday. Feeling that
I know, totally.
good. Yeah.
Mhm.
Today we're going to talk a little bit about dark energy.
Mhm.
It is a topic that we mentioned early on when we
Mhm.
first started broadcasting and talking about energy itself. There's also a lot of good news that's going on now, currently in the physics university world, to make sure that make sure that we're on the right path with whether or not dark energy is actually expanding our universe. So we're talking about
I just read
string theory
Wikipedia.
stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I think we can go into that. But first, let's talk about what dark energy is, and I think I want to clear up one thing real quickly, one misnomer that we normally have, and that may take us off into a tangent on negative stuff.
Clearly.
And
Yeah.
toxic people, and, but it all ties in.
Negativity.
Dark energy is the best way to explain things are either through naming them via nomine, through name, so you name exactly what it is and you tell it, or via negativa, through way of negation, explaining what it's not. And I think that's probably the best approach that we can take toward explaining what dark energy is. Dark energy we have to contrast to light energy, because light energy is what we see and what we understand. And by light I mean literally photon. That's how we we see the colors of the spectrum and all that stuff. Dark energy is the opposite of that. It's the spots in that we don't see. Because we know it exists because of the expansion of our universe, and the measurements allow us to say, hey, wait a minute, there's another energy force here that's actually greater than the light energy that we see, and we've named it dark energy. We just can't really perceive it as well because we don't know how to go into it. So the dark side of it is more along the lines of the ability not to be able to see in it. That's number one, but also because it's unknown. And typically the way we've been socialized, we're kind of afraid of the dark.
Well, it's also that comfort zone, which is totally on tangent again. But again, the unknown, uncertainty.
One of the things that I love to kind of talk about is making sure we're willing to embrace all sides of things. I embrace the dark side. No, it's a fun way to think about it. Plus, I'm a Star Trek. I'm a Star Wars fan. So.
Is it embracing?
Correct.
You have to be active in it.
You have to acknowledge at least.
Don't go around being evil.
Don't.
Well, there's that difference too that we were talking about between negative and the dark side.
Correct. Let's talk about that.
Energy.
The dark energy again.
I can give you my perception just because again everyone knows, and it could be wrong.
Please. I could be wrong totally on all this.
Well, that's not good. But this is just based off of
NASA's pretty concrete on this stuff.
Yeah, this is based on my experience.
Yeah.
I've had things happen that have been negative entities. I mean, straight up negative. Woke up being choked in the middle of the night by a negative spirit. I mean, that was not even negative. That was dark energy. I mean, I've seen things that are non-human, quite honestly, and that dark energy. Negative is what I perceive as someone that's crying out for help that I need to cross over, and they're starting out as negative. I could tell because they're shadow people, but I know deep down inside that they're not. And they're like almost having a bad boss or someone taking out stuff on you, and you have to kind of redirect them. Does that make sense?
Yes,
okay.
It makes full sense. And it is aligned exactly with what we're doing with the podcast. Okay. One of the reasons why we started this is because we believe in that spirit realm, that the entities will perform and act in the ways that Marcia just described. Where there's good, there's always,
oh my God, where there's good, there's always bad.
Always evil. There you go.
And they can't exist for too long in the same space without drawing out the negativity.
There you go. And again, to tie this to the dark and light, one of the reasons they cannot coexist is because dark energy, back to the science side of this, has much more of a gravitational draw.
Oh my God, Sheldon, my mind's blowing up.
A gravitational pull.
Yes.
It will pull the light. That's why, like, we really believe like the universe is stretching out and contracting and stretching out. Now they believe it's really being pulled in two polar opposites.
Yeah, that's what I read on Wikipedia. Go Wikipedia.
And that's why I said you can check the stuff out.
Totally.
NASA's really not too off on this one. Yeah, we're being pulled. But these two, and we'll just call them for now. We don't really know what they are, so we'll label them as black holes. Are really drawing the universe, pulling it out like this and stretching it out to the point where they're going to actually suck everything in.
Yeah.
And it's going to be pulled in two different directions. You're talking about cataclysmic
destruction.
Again, but this is the universe we're talking about. But that gives you an idea of the power
and the magnitude of it,
and the magnitude of dark energy. You know, it is real. When we talk about it in the spirit world, a whole nother thing.
That's kind of all I know.
Correct. And again, to make sure we're very clear, the negativity and the dark evilness that occurs in the spirit world is not necessarily the dark energy that we're talking about. But it is because of the way we've been socialized to think. Labeled that dark stuff.
Label it,
and
exactly.
And you must recognize that this exists.
I mean, you hear
and
like
you have to deal with it.
Demonic things. I mean,
demonic possession is a real thing.
Yeah, totally. In the movies and in real life and all that fun stuff.
I just said that clearly. Demonic possession is a real thing. If you don't believe me, just look it up. Look it up. Read.
But that's
you know, and we talk about stuff from the Catholic Church that recognizes this.
In my mind, that is an actual. Not even a negative. That's dark energy because it's feeding on your fear worse than like any other negative energy would. It feeds. It has to build in the spirit world.
Key purpose you just brought up. It feeds on the fear.
That's why people start to break down in their families when they have
One
something
of the
negative
things that I always keep pushing is fear is not real. Fear is a construct in our mind about the unknown. It's our way of trying to rationalize and justify
and
control why we would just venture into the unknown without any kind of guided plan. That's what fear is. It's our attempt to try and do that, and when we can't, we get overpowered by fear and we become powerless. But that's again all construct of the mind. When you really lay into it, if there's nothing to truly fear, you know, and again, for me, the first kind of step into this was with Frank Herbert's Litany of Fear out of the Dune Chronicles. That was always so fun. Yeah, then reading
that one.
Sci-fi stuff. You know, for like Isaac.
Oh my God, I remember like Hitchcock, and that was about.
I was a big avid
The
fan
Hitchhiker.
of wild stuff like that. You know, but I mean, you know, it's really
But I would love to know other people's take because it's funny because when we were on the Jamie Maloney show, we ended up talking about the string theory, and I felt like, you know, the character Penny when they were all talking about the string theory. But I would love to get anyone else's like little inquiries or takes or, you know, observations of what they know because I'm seriously like not cool inside.
Well, you know what? Here's one that we can kind of tie to real application life.
Yeah.
And I have this. I picked it up even more from you, but you know I get it from my wife as well.
Positivity?
Oh, definitely that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the tangent thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know?
I'm sorry.
And no, it's a great thing because the tangents are usually good. So long as we can get back to where we originally started, and that's it's the creativity of stuff. Stuff just kind of bubbles and pops like that. But that's how string theory is.
Okay.
It connects the universe.
I never come up with a theory of that.
You know, in these different tangents that go off and allow for different realities to manifest themselves.
Well,
that's about cool. The real easiest, simplest definition.
So I think, I'm seeing this in my mind's eye from the average person, and a lot of people. That would be average people. The dark energy is almost something that you can only conceptualize. It's nothing tangible. It's nothing you can actually describe and pinpoint. So for a lot of people, it's like they blend it all together. They can't say, "Oh, there's a dog over there." Like it doesn't work like that. And so they blend their characteristics of negativity and they extend it over these certain boundaries when technically there's evil, dark presences.
Right here in physical
I'm talking
world.
Physical that come into our world and literally shove you, push you, choke you. I mean, like, and if you don't step it up and you're not fearful and you need to be not fearful and you need to be very positive and you need to own where you are and own it, they're going to keep pushing and pushing. To me, that's the difference between the dark energy and just someone that's being negative, whether it's in your workplace. Though we do crack up that there are some bosses and people that dark energy. But
listen, they're there. Energy vampires.
I mean, it's almost like this continuum. This whole gamut. It goes from here to here, and then you have an alternative one for the spirit world. And it's almost like you can kind of cross-compare, cross-reference.
Two things I want to talk about. One in reference to the spirit world and the side of darkness. You know, the reason why we started the podcast is because we firmly believe this light, based upon this love. That's so genuine, will overpower everything.
Yeah, you know what? I have to say, I feel
including this dark energy.
I feel like I'm kind of confessing because I was choked when I was a few times in my sleep by dark energy, and
negative entity.
Yeah, and I pretty much realized that it's the positivity. It finally took a while before it manifested. I'm like, hey, duh, the light bulb went off. It was the positive affirmations and the positive, like, I own this. This is me, and this is not them. They have no right over me. For me to be able to say, it's the positivity, as long and bumpy as it is, it wins. It really wins if you don't break down. And that's why pulled it together.
This kind of ties into where I was going.
That's actually the real confession.
Yeah, no, it ties into where I was going with the statement. And
not just the spiritual stuff, but that particular thing prompted it.
Yeah, we tend to emit, and we want to. I try and emit positivity as much as I can. I try and emit my energy that's supercharged. I try and emit as much light as I can. And again, because I believe if you emit that enough, we get enough bright light bulbs in the world. We're gonna,
change.
The darkness is not gonna be able to do anything with that.
Yep.
But again, if you really, really want to know the truth about a dark entity or a dark spirit, and it's a real dark energy kind of spirit, it will be one that draws more energy than you can emit.
Fathom. Exactly. And that's why you constantly have to
drain from you.
And that's why you have to be constant and own it. Own it. Because if you don't own it, like you would, like in any particular situation where someone's being negative, you don't say, you know what, that's them. This is me. This is how I'm going to perceive it and handle it. It's kind of like owning it but it's like times 100. It's like you need to own it in every which way, that this is me and I can beat this. And then it does.
And that's why it's also critical to make sure you tune in.
Yeah.
When I say tune in, like literally, tune into you.
Tune into you, yeah.
Today I put up a post about...
no high entropy.
About being in good space and what that really means.
Yeah.
That idea of dissonance and discord, you don't want that in your life at all.
All it does is
you really want to seek this harmony.
And then you start tracking that.
Oh, well, there you go, because the laws of attraction. They come into play.
God,
the laws of power, these things come into play. Well, these are some of the things that we're also going to have on the website coming very soon. So.
Yes. Oh, we're so stoked about that.
Stoked about that.
So, I mean, there's this one feature in it that we're not going to say what it is, and we're so super excited, and I know that there's a lot of people that could use this. So I just can't say it, but it's really exciting.
And we want to make sure we get you involved. So please, comment here, email, shoot us any kind of word you can, text, whatever. Please, just make sure you let us know what you think, how you feel. Please subscribe to the YouTube page as much as you can, and make sure you keep emitting that love light energy.
Totally. Love light energy.
Bye.